Hi, I'm Guanglei Zhang. Currently, I'm working as a postdoc at the Imperial College London. Today, I will share some of my research work I conducted at 3D Deep Lab at Monash University. And then I will briefly introduce my current work at Imperial College London. Okay, first share my slides. First, I will talk a little bit about myself. I have education and research background across mining, geotechnical, and petroleum engineering in 3 different countries. I graduated with a PhD degree last year, October, in Monash University with the supervision of Prof Ranjith. And then I moved to the UK and took the postdoc position at Imperial College London. Having been studying and working in multiple disciplines, I have strong interest in renewable energy, carbon sequestration, and especially using pore-scale imaging method to study the fluid flow in porous media. Why do I do pore-scale imaging? Most of our research work in 3D Deep group is related to understanding the CO2 sequestration and also developing new methods to understand and overcome mineral and resource recovery challenges in mining, and especially for unconventional gas and geothermal reservoirs. And the pore-scale imaging and analysis techniques have potential to potential application to all these engineering processes. And with X-ray pore-scale X-ray imaging, we can image and quantify the pore fracture structure and also the fluid flow in the pore and fracture in this porous media. And in Monash University, we have a microscopy lab, and we can image soil and rocks down to sub-micron resolution under in situ pressure conditions with this loading rates. For example, this one-dimensional loading rate, and also tri-axial flow cell. In my PhD, I was using this tri-axial flow cell to study the CO2 sequestration in coal. And this cell is made of aluminum and compatible with X-ray CT imaging. And the cell allows pore-scale imaging fluid flow in porous rocks using X-ray combined with core flooding experiments. And to image and look inside rocks, we can either use the micro CT scanner in our lab or use Australian synchrotron. Actually, Australian synchrotron is conveniently located next to our Clayton campus. Compared to micro CT, synchrotron source is much brighter compared to micro CT, and it enables high quality scans to be acquired in much shorter time. For example, you scan a sample using a micro CT to be finished in 1 hour. We can use synchrotron CT, just scan the sample within minutes. My PhD work is related to CO2 sequestration in deep coal seams. And CO2 sequestration in coal is promising because coal methane can be recovered at the same time while the CO2 is trapped into coal. However, complex physical and chemical reactions happen in coal between coal and injected CO2. And to well understand the process of CO2 sequestration in coal, I use synchrotron X-ray CT to characterize the fracture network evolution under in situ conditions of CO2 sequestration. I conducted a series of tests by considering various factors, for example, the effect of stress on coal porosity and permeability of coal, and effect of water injection, effect of CO2 and nitrogen injection in coal. In my experiment, I provide detailed characterization of fracture network changes as these conditions. And also I measure the permeability at the same time. So the CT scanning will provide the direct evidence for the fracture network change and permeability change. And today, I would like to take this great opportunity to thank my supervisor, Professor Ranjith, for his great guidance and also help not only on my research, but also on my life. And with his mentoring, the 4 years I spent in Monash has been a very happy and very fruitful time in my life. It was my honor and my fortune to study and work with him. And finally, I want to briefly introduce my current work as Imperial College London. In Imperial, my research work is more about multi-phase flow in porous media. I use X-ray imaging and analysis techniques to characterize the real perm and capillary pressure for multi-phase flow. And also, I provide the local multi-phase flow parameters, for example, pore by pore fluid distribution and pore occupancy and wettability. And also, my experiment provides measurement for validation and calibration for our new network model, which is GNM, Generalized Network Model, developed by our senior colleague, Dr. Alirini. I collaborate with him, then we combine experiments and modeling to provide a more robust pore network model and calibrate our model. And in future, we can predict the Pore-scale multi-phase flow in porous media more accurately. Thank you.